Om Shri Guru Pyo Namaha Harihi Om Sadashiva Samarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam Shri Jagan Mataram Devim Stitadhi Padmakasanam Hridaya Sagaratitam Gomatim Pranatosmyaham Om. So today is our second day, and yesterday we were talking about cognitive change, how Vedanta is only going to work if we understand what is a cognitive change and our expectation of changing is not there when we are studying. That does not mean that we are not going to change in the process. Actually, we change a lot, even more than just living. You know, when we are studying, we change a lot. But all these changes are not the objective that we have in our heart. Actually, if we think about all the saints, Gandhi and all these guys, we are not going to become a Gandhi just because we are following his steps. Whatever he does, we do. No. What will make us be one with him is to understand what he sees. The cognitive change that he has about the world is what makes him what he is. And every master, every person that it's treated as a saint in the terms of spirituality, what this guy has is a change on the way he sees the world. And this is the beauty. This is what we can really take from spirituality. One of the things that I heard from my teachers when I started learning was that now that you started Vedanta, you should attempt not to change much, you know, just keep everything the way it is. You have a relationship, keep it. You have a job, keep this job. Why? Why should I keep it? Because it's very nice to see how the same things that used to bother us, they just stop bothering and become some sort of like an opportunity for growth, a place to amuse ourselves. The same job that was boring and repetitive and all this suddenly becomes something that is like a challenge. A challenge to deal with those people that are really hard, you know. In English they have this expression, hard nut to crack. No, I think it's like this. Yes, they are very hard, you know. It's correct? Okay. They are very hard. And at the same time, you know, people, one day I was asking, why master, things always get worse? Like, everything is good in the job and then suddenly something changes and it gets worse. And then when you manage that problems it gets worse, because he said it's like a video game. The enemy has to always be a little bit stronger, although people stop playing, you know. So when you manage this level, and you think that everything is fine, you should just say, okay, let's increase the heat, you know? This is life. This is what's supposed to be. This is what makes us play a video game actually. Because there is always a new challenge. And if I have the correct attitude, challenges are wonderful. If I don't have this attitude, then the challenges, they are very threatening. And I just think my life is miserable. So in the last class we talked about attitude also. the attitude that is behind the study of Vedanta, and that makes the whole difference. And the basic principle, let's talk like this, the basic principle that is there, the concept, is the choice. The choice for learning is not about, oh yes, I want to study Vedanta, I chose. No. The choice is, while I'm studying, I'm going to face different things that are not very nice about myself. Maybe I have to deal with some things of my past that I do not want to touch that. Maybe I have to deal with some new threats, like, oh, I was already so much traumatized with a lot of people trying to abuse of me, and I have just discovered that I have love towards them, and I'm not going to enter in contact with this love unless I get close to them. But if I get close to them, I'm going to be abused again, because this is how I always worked. And then suddenly I have to choose. I have to choose to face this challenge and talk to this hard nut to cracks. Okay, it's not this. Anyway, I have to choose. It's a choice. And while I'm listening, there are different things happening in my mind, some different connections, you know, and then I have to choose. And this choice keeps the attitude going. So when we say that we have to choose to learn, this choice is not about entering the classroom, but it's what we do with the information that we are receiving. What we do, you know. So this was last class. Today we are going to talk about another very important subject, that is the difference between a belief and an understanding. Okay? It seems that the difference is very clear. Belief is something that I accept without knowing why, and understanding something that I really know. Okay, what do you really know? Tell me. Oh, for example, this is my child, my son. That's something that I know. Do you really know? That's your son. Think about it. How do you know? No, this is my son, I've made it. Oh, okay, do you have the knowledge to make a son? Where is the liver? What is liver? A. It's not like that. You know, life, what is to understand something, what is to believe in something, it's very subtle. And we have to understand the difference between both. We have an understanding about ourselves as being this body and this mind. We have an understanding. I understand myself to be this body and this mind. And this is wrong. And it's not an understanding, it's a belief. It's actually a belief. But I cannot recognize what is a belief and what is an understanding. I think that to understand something is to prove it experientially. Through the experience I have to prove. And then, okay, I know because I saw. People say like this, if you see, then it's real. I understood. It was there. But if you see a mirage in the desert, you see it and it's not there. Hey, how you tell it's not there? I'm seeing it. Why is it not there? Oh, there are other evidences. If you really think about it, you're going to see it's illogical. All this sand everywhere and then suddenly a swimming pool in the middle. That's not, you are crazy. Let's suppose that you look to the skies and then you see 2 moons. Imagine. What are you going to tell? Oh, tonight there are 2 moons. No, you are going to tell, my eyes stopped working. Why? Because there is no way that suddenly a second moon has appeared. Maybe if you only see 2 moons but not double the quantity of stars, you ask your friend to take a look, something's happening. I don't know what's happening to me, my eyes, but I'm seeing two moons. That's what we are going to tell, because we have some discriminative faculty in the mind. And this faculty, when it works, it makes a belief becomes an understanding. When this faculty does not work, whatever is said will never be an understanding. If we don't stop to think about what is said, that will always be a belief. But even if you think about something that somebody told you, maybe I have a house in Brazil, there is an institute in the mountains. Okay, fine. I think about it, okay, that's fine. Is it a belief or an understanding? Very difficult to tell. I would tell it's an understanding, because I just understand your sentence, it's okay. And then I say, in the institute, there are 2 camels. 2 camels? Yes, camels. Something is wrong. Did I heard properly? Yes, camels. I will Google it. Camels in Brazil. There are no camels in Brazil. Suddenly, the same information becomes a belief. Why does it become a belief? Because my faculty of discrimination does not give the stamp and say that what is said is logical. Does not give the stamp. It just tells, okay, this does not pass. Google does not say there are camels in Brazil. I don't see a space for a camel in the classroom. I don't know what he's meaning, but this I cannot testify as being correct. So the difference between a belief and understanding is not a matter of what is being told actually, but is my capacity to analyze what is being said. And if this analysis is being done properly, what is the result of it? Then the information will be classified as an understanding or a belief. Sometimes we are mistaken. Everything seems alright. In the institute there are 2 monkeys. Monkeys in Brazil. Oh, they have monkeys in Brazil. Perfect. It fits the institute. Yes. It's in the woods. Okay. So the monkeys can come in. Yeah, why not? Okay. There are 2 monkeys in the institute. I can accept that. So it's an understanding. But maybe it's not true. So this is a second problem. What we understand not necessarily is true, just because we understand. When we say a belief, we are dealing with information that I don't accept as true by what it is said, but I have to accept this was told. This is a belief. It's like it needs some sort of experience or confirmation so that I can accept this as an understanding. Then I have a second classification. I understand this. My experiences in life, from the light of my own experience, when I look to this information, I say, yes, it can be true. Monkeys in the institute, it can be true. So I can accept this as an understanding. But this also maybe is not true, because maybe I have some lacks of information. If information is lacking, maybe I'm not seeing properly the logic behind it. There are a lot of mathematical equations and propositions that seems very logical, and gives an odd result. Then suddenly 1 becomes equal to 3, just because we don't know how to operate the parentheses and the plus sign and the x sign and all this multiply sign. It's possible. I cannot operate the logical properly, and then I just make the wrong analysis. And if the wrong analysis is done and I testify something, that is a wrong understanding. So, when we say there are two monkeys in the institute, is an understanding. If I came to know that this is not true, that was a wrong understanding. I came to know it's a wrong understanding. Now think about, when I say I am this body and this mind, is it a belief or an understanding? Yeah, you should think about it. Is it a belief or an understanding? Well, first we are going to say it's an understanding. After all, everybody is saying the same thing. I feel my body. But the fact is that the logic that we have been using about to prove what we are and to accept this, it's not really acceptable. For example, take in consideration the fact that in 5 years, all the cells in your body will have changed. All of them. If they all change at the same time, you could just bury your own self and do your prayers, oh my God, he's gone, and then put in the coffin, close and bury. Okay, done. That's true. 5 years, all the cells change. If this is true, I cannot accept logically that I am the body, because I'm still the same person. Something else should be there, connecting the two bodies that are changing. Something that's not changing should be there. This is logical. It's not something, it's not a belief, it's a logic process that's not being done. You can have other types. I am this body. Okay. What this body is made of? Water, earth, air, heat, space. 5 elements was there. Or maybe 108 you can say, carbon, this, that. Okay, let's take 5 elements just for an example. And then I will ask, if you have a glass of water like this, does the glass think? Think? Yes, think, like have ideas and decide what he's going to do about his life and this. No, water does not think. Okay, good. If you say that, then we can proceed to the class. Okay, then earth, stone, does it think? No, stone does not think also. It's just a stone. No thinking process. Okay. Wind? No. Heat thinks? No, heat does not think. Air thinks? No, air also does not think. Of course, no. Okay. If you mix two things that does not think, this mix is going to think. Think about it. If you think it's going to think, then you have to really think. It's never possible. Just take a bucket, put stones, water inside. I know in the brain there are, how they say, electric signals. Okay, put the bucket in the plug. See if it's going to think. Put your hand inside also. See, it's not going to think. Electricity does not mean thinking power. Electricity means power, only this. And power does not think also. If you mix another thing, it's not going to think. Done. Do you think? Yes, I do. So how you are telling that you are your body? This is not logical. The logic does not accept that I am the body. This is a big mistake. How do I accept that I am the body? Without thinking. If I don't think, I can accept that I am the body. If I start to think about it, my intellect cannot testify. But we are not like used to this thinking process. Actually, we have an... Why should we do it actually in the first place? This is what we have. Everybody is thinking the same way. Why should I stop to think? No. It does not work like that. So we say that this is it's not a wrong thinking. This is the non-thinking. Like it's an area of our lives that we don't put thoughts on it, or we don't do it properly at least. And then some ideas, like I am this body and all this, they just become real for us and become our understanding. If we start to analyze logically and take some time to the mind to appreciate the fallacies around the logic that I am the body, it takes some time. Then suddenly what happened is that then what was an understanding for the mind jumps to another category, a wrong understanding that I used to have. But at the same time, there is an experience related to it, like a mirage on the desert. You have an experience, you are looking at it. At the same time, you know it's not correct, it's not true. Why do you know? Because logically I can see it. So there is, let's say, what they call the third eye. When we come to this spirituality, they have this concept, the third eye. So what is the third eye? The third eye is that we open our thinking capacity, our faculty of discrimination towards the subject matter of who am I? Why am I here? What's the purpose of life? All these questions suddenly comes to light. Properly, like with a method traditionally done. Then what happened is that these three categories start to change. What is a belief, an understanding, and a wrong understanding. And what happened in the process is that I really just take life in a diagonally opposite way. What I consider to be true, I am this body, becomes a mirage. I say, okay, definitely I have this sensation, but it's not true. At the same time, what people believe will bring them happiness, like having a new car. This is a belief. It's just a belief. Having a new car makes me happy. When you buy the car, you are just the same person inside the car. Maybe being the owner of the car, I feel happy. Okay, for some time we'll feel happy. Until the moment you have to change some spare parts or things like this, that the car became old and something, then the same car becomes a source of sadness. The car becomes a source of sadness. Think about this. The same car that was a source of happiness becomes a source of sadness. The first crash, and I have to spend a lot of money to repair it. And then I remember the old car that was like really simple, and it would just like cost me $100 to clean everything. This car is costing me thousands and thousands of dollars to just change the lantern, you know. Source of sadness. Well, if a car can be a source of happiness and a source of sadness, so definitely the source of happiness and sadness has nothing to do with the car. You can use your faculty of discrimination and take out the connection between car and happiness. It's possible. And when you see a car and you become happy, you're just like a mirage in the desert. You can look to it and say, wonderful, how it looks like I can become happy having a car, but I'm not going to fall in that trap. I know it's not true. My choices, they are not based in what I experience, but in what my faculty of discrimination consider as real. So the second thing that we have to understand when we study Vedanta is the value of the faculty of discrimination. How it makes the difference between a belief and an understanding. And when something was taken as true, and after further analysis, I see that that was like a mistake that I have committed, that same thing becomes a wrong understanding and maybe just a mirage on the desert. So this process is actually the process that we live the whole way studying Vedanta. We just look to everything that we have been doing. We look to our quarrels in the family. We look for our dreams of what will bring us happiness. And one by one, like bubble balls. I don't know if you play like this in the US, but I think so. They make like some balls, bubbles, big bubbles, you know, like with some sort of water and what do you call it? The soap, no, water and soap, and then yeah, you have it, yeah. And then you just do like this, plucked, and it goes away. At the same time, when you start to study and analyze what is life, you start to destroy all these bubble balls. And these bubble balls, they are just like weak understandings. Things that we took as real just because we did not analyze it properly, or we have even never think about it. Then, the study of Vedanta is not a matter of bringing new information. First, we have to destroy the bubble balls. So slowly, all the texts will talk about what is life. But when the texts talk about what is life, it will talk in a way that our faculty of discrimination will just go up. It will be stimulated. And we will analyze the same things in a different perspective. And so some teachers will tell, don't change your life right now, just wait a little bit. Because you should gain the pleasure of destroying the bubble ball. You know, this was something very unique that I heard when I started. And of course we change a lot of things, you know, but it's really nice to appreciate that. It becomes a challenge. Why should I change? If happiness is not a matter of changing, why should I change? In some way we have to identify, you know, what are really some changes that are needed and necessary and we have to do it, and some that we should just keep it there so that we can have this experience of seeing them going away. So here we stop the first half. I will just chant a mantra and then we talk a little bit and start the second half. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Shri Guru Pyo Namaha Harihi Om